keeps wanting to fall into me. So fall into me, please. I really love Fall to Pieces by Sky Sweetham. Who else has a fall to into me song? I think Avril has one. I don't know. I'm thinking about Souvenir. Can I keep you as a souvenir? Okay. So this is going to be my Tender Bar with Ben Affleck, directed by George Clooney review. Okay. So first off, have you watched the movie? If so, what did you think? To excite me and ignite my own fire, I'm gonna do some makeup on myself so I don't bore myself to death. Like, I live in a small town, so I need to do a black smoky eye. Okay. So, let's start. I always like to watch movies without knowing nothing about it. And I do my research after. So one trailer is all it takes to catch my attention because if it's a movie that's captured through a camera, I'm interested because I don't know. I view film as a reflection to myself. And I feel like that's a really good way to view film is you go to see roles that are being played to so that you can observe and see what role you're playing on earth and which role you don't need to play anymore. I love watching like the alcoholic and like the masculine man to know that I don't have to play those roles. Those roles are just acting roles. So if you see anything and everything as an acting role, you don't have to do anything. You can just do what your hands are pulling towards. And right now my hand is pulling towards black liquid lipstick. If I were to play the role in real life of masculine alcoholic man, that would be fun until I watch it in a movie and see that I'm an actor and I'm actually really bad at the role that I assigned myself. Does that make sense? Okay, so seeing the trailer for this movie, I saw that it was a story of a young boy with an absent father who looks up to his uncle as a father figure. And I was like, oh my god, I don't think I've watched a movie like that recently that is that similar to my own story. So I gravitated towards it so bad that I forgot to watch it when it came out in theaters. But I watched it today, so that's what counts. What was I gonna say? I don't know. It was just a warm story, I thought. And then I went to go sit down in the movie theater with my Italian soda. And the first 20 minutes were awesome. The first 20 minutes were everything I wanted it to be. It was focusing on a young boy. Oh my god, my favorite scene was I feel like a lot of gay boys, American boys, boys in general can relate to the scene of sitting on the doorsteps of your house when your father, let's go with dad right now. When your dad said he would pick you up to hang out with you and you watch every single car hoping and waiting to see if it's him and a day turns into night and he doesn't show up. That was the best scene ever. I would have paid $10 just for that scene because it was reflective to my story and a lot of people's stories. Haven't we all had that feeling of being the little boy waiting at the doorstep for dad? That was my favorite scene. But then it went all downhill. It was so obvious that the dialogue was written by a man, directed by a man, shot by a man. And is Ben Affleck, I feel like his movies are movies that men watch. Like it's not really feminine or emotional. It was very like we're talking about alcoholism, and we're talking about the dynamics of a young boy and fatherless boy, and uncle ends up being a father. I thought that was what the whole movie was going to be about, but it was more of a memoir of the son. But I would have focused more on making the story of the undertones of, oh, I'm playing dad and I know I'm playing, like Ben Affleck's role. I would have been like, I would have directed him and said, I want you to play this as you know that everything you say to this little boy, he will see it as dad telling him what to do and what not to do. So be aware of that. And it was aware of it in like really good scenes, but then it just got boring. Like it was too focused on the masculine side instead of like the spiritual undertones. I love like a spiritual undertone. That's why I like rom-coms so much. Because rom-coms are based on destiny, perfect moment, right place, right time. Like all of that's written in. And that all has spiritual undertones into it because it is a feel-good movie. And this movie, I don't know if it was trying to be a comedy. I would have watched this movie if it wasn't a comedy. But I think when you have men behind a desk and men like money, they want to make stuff that makes money. I would have went the more come on route with Joaquin Phoenix. I also watched that one. And that one was perfect. That one was focusing on a 9-year-old's life. Oh my god, it's the same movie. Like, mom is absent, parentheses. Dad is super absent because of alcoholic or mental problems. And come on stuck to the present moment, as in we're gonna follow this 9-year-old around his life, because when you're 9 years old you don't know what you're gonna be later on, so you want to cherish the warmth and vulnerability of youth. I thought that's what the first 20 minutes of Tender Bar did, and those were my favorite. Like the first 30 minutes of the movie, 20 minutes of the movie were the best. But then we transferred to him at like 18, like 18, 19, 20. And that's when I closed my eyes and wanted to leave the movie theater because it was so cliche and so boring. But I don't know. I think that's what makes it watchable to a general audience, knowing that it's so normal that it's boring. Like, you fall in love with a college girl, and that gets you through the first 2 years of college, and then she breaks up with you. So you chase her for 2 years more until senior year. I don't know. Movies that focus on like the first years of college it has been done before. So if you're not gonna do something interesting with it, then leave it out. But I don't know. That's just like a negative comment, because maybe putting that in makes it normal and relatable to everyone. It was just boring. Like, it was just boring. And then it didn't get better. And okay, when you have a sensitive young little boy who reads books instead of playing sports, you can make him so exciting and so cool, like they did in Come On. But in this way, they went the alcoholism route. So there was no emotion. When you're an alcoholic, you're just boring. So it went that way, which wasn't that interesting, like at all, because there was no like, I don't know. I would have went the more dramatic, dramatized way instead of the realistic way. But this was a biopic of a memoir. And if you want to watch Being the Ricardos or Judy Garland with Renee Zellweger, it is a fictionalized, heightened perspective, heightened emotions of like 1 week or like 1 month. I guess it's easier to do that than it is to do like 10 years. I think they should have focused only on the young kid story. Or if you're going to focus on him when he's older, make it interesting. I don't know. It was very flat. It was very I feel like I could watch this movie in any year, from any director, from any cinematographer, cinematographer. There was no like distinct style or distinctness. It was very, we're making a movie, buy a ticket, don't remember it, it won't really inspire you, but here's a Ben Affleck movie. I wanted to watch a Ben Affleck movie because I never really watched a Ben Affleck movie. And he was really good. I get what he's about. He plays the American roles, but he played it good. Would I recommend this movie? I would recommend watching the first 20 minutes and then walking out. I don't know. It could have been a lot more. And I was like thinking about it. I was like, can it be a TV series? It would have worked as a TV series, but it was just not intellectual. By intellectual, I mean emotional. And by emotional, I mean spiritual. Aren't they like all the same word? Like resonating from the inside out. It was very like, here, walk in this scene. In this scene, they're going to tell you that you're not getting the job. So react like you're not getting the job. And that was it. It wasn't like, oh, I'm actually following every of my impulses and instincts without fear. And I've noticed that everywhere I'm led with perfect proximity of where I need to be and where to go. I don't know. I could tell it was a man's movie. It wasn't a female's movie. Come On, Come On felt like a female movie. So, what did you think of Come On, Come On? Did you love it? I liked it. It inspired me because it reflected to me a part of my story, which I think I needed and I wanted to see. And maybe my expectations were too high, but I don't know, maybe it just means that I need to do my own story. But it's funny because every story is kind of the exact same. Like Come On, and Tender Bar are the exact same. Like uncle is your father figure. And does uncle know it while it's happening? Sometimes yes, but sometimes no. Imagine acting as if you did know that you were being dad because dad was absent. That would have been awesome to watch. In some scenes, they captured that spark of, oh shit, I am your dad, but I'm just your mother's sister. But psychologically, you don't have a father figure, and I'm older than you, and I look like a dad. So you see me as father figure. So I need to watch what I say to you. It's really cool. So I'm actually really glad I got to see my own story reflected back to me. That's kind of why I watch movies. Why do you watch movies? Is it to laugh? I'm never really like looking to laugh because I'll laugh at the normalness and the stillness. That's what I laugh at because that's what's in between the words that are written for you to say. Like for an actor, it's like the subtext. I don't know. Okay, you know what? You know what it was? It was that there was too many males on screen. For like every like 10 males, there was like one female. I think that's why. I think that's why I didn't like it. It was too men heavy. Like, don't show me straight college boys. Like, I'm gonna roll my eyes. I'm gonna run out the theater. I'm gonna throw my drink at the screen because it's so boring. Like, what is a college frat boy gonna tell you? He's gonna drink with you, and then you're gonna laugh about. What are you gonna laugh about when you're straight and you're drunk? I don't know. That's not my story. I don't know what they laugh about. But it's funny looking at men, especially straight men, on film and in person. when they're taking life so seriously, but you can just slap on makeup and change your energy. But if it seems like people don't know that, I guess it's like, you know what I want to see? I want to see this. I want to see girls fighting each other. Come over here. Okay. This is what I want to see on film. What do you want to see on film? I don't want to see college boys. I think this story was a story for... This movie is... Buy a ticket to this movie if you're a man or you're a boy and you like to watch Boyhood. If you want to watch Boyhood. And I did want to watch Boyhood. I just wasn't... To display boyhood, you have to display womanhood and girlhood to be the reflection of it, but also to ground it and to show that there's more to life than the drunk jokes and drunk cigarette talk. Cigarette talk and drunk anecdotes are so boring, but that's what makes people laugh. I'd rather think about a movie and not laugh once, but maybe I'm looking for too much out of the movies I watch. What can you do when you are a DIY filmmaker? But buy from me and Marc Jacobs. I'll see you at the next indie movie release. If this movie was supposed to be an indie movie release, push it more and make it sexual. Make it... I don't know. I would have loved to see Ben Affleck's character being the dad to this little boy. They didn't touch that at all. They touched it like conversation's gonna change your life, but it's also like, that's not, to me that's boring. That's like, words can affect you, but show me him going to talk to you and him going to the little boy going to ask you questions as if you are dad. I love the little snippets of Ben Affleck's character guiding the little boy, like guiding him to read, guiding him to... That's the only thing he guided him towards. I don't know, I would have loved to see more guidance and emotional care. But I don't know, maybe the movie wasn't asking for that because it was very American in the sense that American... Oh my god, Chica's peeing on Pikachu. Oh my god. Pikachu just has a mouthful of pee now. Pikachu, don't be afraid to use Vogue Tackle on her. Okay, but peace out, because this video is getting too long. I don't like editing long videos, so this might just be a audio podcast. Bye.